Are you here about the job? To forestall any confusion, yes, we split the proceeds equally. And no, I will not budge on that point. You mean you aren't here about the notice? Well, allow me to explain. I need a partner for a difficult job. It pays well, but it involves travel, and there is some danger. Does that sound like the sort of thing that might interest you? I'm so glad you came along. I've chartered a ship. When you're ready, meet me there. Here, I'll mark your map. Bring some lockpicks. They sell them here if you don't have any. Oh, and wear something warm. Let's talk about details when we rendezvous. It's not that I don't trust you, I don't think I've made a good impression in this place. That is, if you're still interested. You are, right? Of course you are, I'm only joking. I've never had a partner. I mean, on all other big jobs I've done, which I did alone, quite successfully, and most of the people I interviewed thought the rendezvous was too far away. Well, I paid for a ship in advance. I didn't realize how far I'd have to look to find a suitable partner. For the job, I mean. But we can talk about this at the docks. Let's talk about details when we rendezvous. It's not that I don't trust you, I don't think I've made a good impression in this place. That is, if you're still interested. You are, right? Of course you are, I'm only joking.
I don't believe this. I'm not leaving until you let us in.
You made it! I wasn't certain you... Well, I'm glad you're here. So, the details. We're headed to a remote patch of land called Fulstrom Homestead. It's owned by some Thane from Eastmarch. He's at war, but his staff and guards remain. We're looking for a relic called the Geovessan Skull. We slip inside the treasure room, grab our prize, and depart before anyone knows the difference. After that, we split the proceeds and go our separate ways. One more thing. I'd prefer not to spill any blood, but I leave our safety to your discretion. If a guard sees you, take shelter in a hiding spot. Sound good? This little tub will get us to a blockade runner offshore. They'll bring us to Fulstrom Homestead and back. I hope you don't get seasick. I get seasick. I'm sure I'll be all right. None whatsoever. Anything else you take is yours to fence. Just don't forget why we're there. We don't leave until we have the Geovessan Skull. The newest job is always the biggest job. Life of a thief. You know how it is. Well, this is the biggest job I've ever attempted. But I did the research, arranged transportation, and knew I needed a good partner to pull it off. That's why I hired you. Dry land. Finally. Colder than I expected. Very, very cold. The manor should be up ahead. Are you ready? Of course. What about? There should be guards throughout the homestead. We're looking for a gatehouse. Once we're past the portcullis, the manor shouldn't be much further. That's where we'll find the Geovesin skull. I need it for a buyer in Abel's Landing, which isn't important right now. Until we get the Geovesin skull, there's no point in discussing payment. Let's head to the manor, quick and silent. The sentries are Windhelm Guard, on loan from someone important. If they give chase, find a hiding spot. The water between the two grates? Full of slaughterfish. Dry land. Dry land. That winch is a problem. One moment. It's stuck. Try lifting the gate while I turn the winch. That's it! I knew we'd make good partners.
You wouldn't leave, so I called the guard.
You did bring lockpicks, didn't you? Lockpicks won't work on those doors. Some sort of mechanism, maybe? Whoa! That's one clever Bane, but not clever enough. I heard a click! Come on, let's go find the Geovesan skull. It is. It's so shiny.
Surrender, thief! The manor is surrounded. Today the Iron Wheel brings you to justice.
What? Who are you?
Chief Inspector Ranbeek. We foiled your attempt to steal the Geovesan skull. Will you also confess to stealing Magnifica Falora's dowry?
What's a Falora?
See? It doesn't matter. Return the Geovesan skull and surrender, or face the consequences.
No idea what he means. I'll follow your lead. Pull them off! I'll find another way out. Who was that? What was all that about, with dowries and iron wheels? Nobody. Well, I sent word to the Thieves Guild of Abar's Landing. They were interested in acquiring the Geovesan skull. Abar's Landing was to be our next stop. But why would this iron wheel set an ambush here? Are you certain you've never heard of them? Of course, you're right. The iron wheel could return at any moment. We need to get out of here, and fast. Wait! Did you hear that? There's someone coming. Who are you?
You don't know me yet, but I'm a friend. Quen, isn't it? Put on this uniform and head outside. The Iron Wheel won't detain a Windhelm guard.
There's no way I'm leaving here without my partner.
I only had one uniform. Go on, recover your boat and meet us by the catacomb exit. Then we can return to the Thieves Guild in Abba's Landing.
You're from the Thieves Guild? All right. I'll meet you both by the exit. Good luck, partner.
She'll be fine. Looks like we take the dangerous way around. Didn't realize there were two of you. Next time the Iron Wheel springs a trap, I'll bring another uniform. I'm Walk Softly, and we're currently fleeing the Iron Wheel. We can talk about the details once we've actually fled. Oh, what are your thoughts on spiders? When I was posing as one of the manor's guards, one of the actual guards mentioned these old catacombs, said there were a basket full of spiders. Unless that's an obscure Nord expression, I'm guessing he meant actual spiders. Nothing we should discuss right here. But I promise, as soon as we've escaped the Iron Wheel, I'll answer your questions. Did I mention I'm afraid of spiders? Probably should have mentioned. I'll keep it under control. Look, a crypt! Nothing bad ever happens in a crypt. It sees you! Or me! Us! Let's share the blame! Stay away from the pointy bits! On the bright side, these only have 4 limbs. Are we running? No? All right then! Follow me. We're almost there.
I don't think they saw me.
Are you all right? You're greener than my favorite vest.
It's fine. I'm fine. That didn't go as smoothly as I'd hoped. I suppose that's the point of being a thief, isn't it? I'm just glad we're alive and free. Unless the Iron Wheel finds us. We should be going, shouldn't we? Let's get going.
Could have lived my entire life without running through a spider pit. But we made it through. You'll make a real impression in Abba's Landing. the Thieves Guild, and my guildmaster, who can explain why the Iron Wheel thinks you deserve the same fate they've inflicted upon us. It's an unpleasant fate. It involves branding irons. You are your own master, but the Iron Wheel is relentless, and they know your face. They know your partner's face, too. So, tell me where we're all headed? I suggest Abba's Landing as soon as you're able. When you're up to it, we'll head to the Thieves' Den. It's in an old cistern.
Oh, a cistern. Wonderful. I'm to be surrounded by water everywhere I go.
Always a pleasant journey to Abba's Landing. Head to our Thieves' Den. The Guildmaster awaits. Your partner and I will be along when she's less expulsive. Hidden within an old cistern that's long forgotten by the city's merchant lords. A new home for us after the Iron Wheel tore apart the old one. It's a bit damp. You get used to it.
Want to make some easy gold? You've got that look in your eye. That look of absolute boredom. If you want something to do, I could direct you to some dishonest work. If that sort of thing interests you. The kind where you get paid. Just head over to Shark's Teeth Grotto and look for Shalug. She could use some help evicting pirates from our hideout, and I'm much too pretty for that sort of work. Do what she says and the gold will pile up real quick.
Walker, a moment! You will talk to Bakum? Oh, praise Alkosh. This one carries a heavy burden. This one is very worried. Bakum's sister-in-law's uncle's cousin has been writing strange letters. So strange, something about the Maw of Lorkaj. He is a monk, you see, at the Temple of Seven Riddles. Bakum fears the worst. You will help, yes? High in the mountains, to the south of Dokrin. The rivers are shallow there, but this one has smuggled in shallower. Sailed, I mean. Bakum would feel better if he brought some muscle along. You have 11 friends, yes? It would be worth your while. Bright moons. Bakum is ready to set sail when you are, Walker. Bakum is looking for his sister-in-law's uncle's cousin. We are very close. Why do you make a face? Does it? Well, what can Bakum say? He values family. You raised an interesting point, though. Our Saturalia Bandar gift swap does take a very, very long time. Yes, of course. Takenrad has always had a sugar-sweet disposition. He always asks about Bakum's wife and children, and about Bakum's shipping operation, so on and so on. But, recently, his letters have turned sour. Very sour. He says that no one appreciates him. He says that his fellow monks are stealing from him and spying on him. And he says he feels ill, twisted. He called it a creeping sickness scraping away at the inside of his skull. Horrible, yes?
This is bad. This is very, very bad. These are troubling times. When we forget the past, it has a disturbing tendency to rear up behind us and bite us in the arse. Perhaps, but that doesn't make it less true. Did you know that Prince Hugh buried his family's secret shame in his own ancestral tomb? It involved his mad uncle Magnifico Baraha, who tried to form a necromantic cult under the prince's very nose.
What'll I do?
Oh, most definitely. Luckily, the prince discovered his uncle's treachery and trapped the necromancers inside the tomb. Priests were gathered to create a great seal to make sure they couldn't escape. Unfortunately, pirates decided to loot the tomb. You must recharge the Great Seal. The necromancers are using the pirates' life energy to weaken it. Take my amulet, Spirit Catcher, and use it to capture the unleashed spirits. Then you can use that same energy to repair the seal. Not many. Once the amulet has absorbed enough spirits, you can use it to repair the Great Seal at the tomb's far end. Ironic that the same energy the necromancers used to weaken the seal can also be used to repair it. I am the last of my order, and I walk a different path from you. If I die, the Great Seal will eventually fail and the necromancers will escape the tomb. I'd like to postpone that occurrence for as long as possible. I'm sure you understand. Ah, I see you aren't familiar with the term necromancer. Trapped in a tomb, they embraced undeath before they could expire from lack of food and water. I don't like to consider how they went about accomplishing that feat.
I should never have borrowed that money.
What is it?
I'm down on my luck. Help me out?
I'm desperate.
The Guildmaster is expecting you. Go on in.
I don't believe I've had the pleasure. Spencer Rye, at your service. I have a friendly arrangement with the Thieves Guild. We're business adjacent, you might say.
I'm one of the Gurgases, the merchant family. Perhaps you've heard of us. That said, I have nothing to do with the business, and I positively detest my uncle. I'm part of the guild now, and proud of it. Ah, you're the one that Walk Softly brought to our charming little hovel. Well, let me be the first to welcome you to the Abaz Landing Thieves Guild. We may not look like much, but we used to be significant. Divine's willing, we will be again. I don't really know the details. It happened shortly after I joined the guild, and I wasn't privy to our leader's plans. As far as I can tell, a heist went terribly wrong. Zira was the only survivor. Beyond that, you'd have to ask the Guildmaster. A recent promotion, yes. The higher-ups got together to pull off the heist of the century, but Zira was the only one to return from that doomed expedition. Whatever happened brought the attention of the Iron Wheel down upon us. Now we hide here. I do whatever it takes, my friend. Whatever it takes. I want to help the guild reclaim its former glory and drive those Iron Wheel bastards out of Abaz Landing. And if Zira deems to make me an officer in the guild, so much the better.
Can I help you?
Come. Your pockets look full, but they do not jingle. Let us remedy this terrible affliction.
New member. Great. We could use the coin coming in. Any work the Guildmaster's approved gets posted on the board over there. See something you like? Get it done, and I'll handle the books. Accounting, inventory, managing the futility of keeping the lot of you honest. You have any idea how hard it is to watch the coffers in a den of thieves? It's like watching my sister multiplied by, I don't know, a lot. I don't get much sleep. My sister and I would work up confident schemes on wealthy merchants. She dressed the part. I dressed the ledgers. The guild offered stability and an audience that could appreciate the performance. Hopefully, it can again. I'm going to stop you right there before the wheels start turning. If you need to get paid, I'll make sure you get everything you're owed. I don't miscount. Never forget, I don't miscount. Twin, if you could believe it. I love her, but she drives me crazy. You would not believe how much she can spend on cosmetics. Work-related. Half, maybe. Over here. We should speak. Walk Softly sent word of your time at Fulstrom Homestead. Said you slipped out from between the Iron Wheel's greedy fingers. I am, but call me Zira. Titles don't carry weight when you live in a cistern. Pretty bold of you and Quen to go after the Geovessan skull. Did you know she sent a letter asking to set up a meet? Rookie mistake. The Iron Wheel read her mail. That's why I sent Walk Softly to pull you out. Don't get me wrong, Quen may be green, but she planned a real heist. The kind we used to pull off before the Iron Wheel captured or killed most of us. Bastards. You heard of Magnifica Flora? She's a noble from Tanith, with a substantial dowry in her family tomb. We tried to steal it, but we failed, and she hired the Iron Wheel to punish us. I hear their leader thought you worked for us. Want to make it official? If the great Chief Inspector Ron Beek thinks you're part of the Guild, who am I to disagree? We need good thieves, capable thieves like you and Quen to pull ourselves out of the gutter. So, care to join the Thieves Guild? We have nowhere to go but up. Good. You aren't afraid of a challenge. The more you do for us, the more gold and respect you'll earn. Reputation goes a long way with us. Bringing us the Geovessan skull is a good start. Here's your cut. Don't worry, Quen will get her portion. I told you about our failed heist, the one that led the Iron Wheel to Abba's Landing. Someone pointed them in our direction. It's time we found out exactly who it was. My gold is on Velsa. She was part of our Thieves' Council, the Guild's inner circle, but she retired just before the dowry heist. It might be coincidence, or it might be she sold us out for large stacks of coin. That's what I'd like to find out. You and I should pay her a visit, see if the Iron Wheel funds her retirement. There's a breach in the city wall, outside the flooded district. Meet me there when you're ready. Thieves should always travel separately. Advice from Nicholas. Good advice. Said she'd earned enough for a lifetime, handed over her rackets and told us to leave her alone. We'd see her in the markets now and again. She kept to herself. Fine by me. Coral underclothes are less abrasive. Our old guildmaster, a mentor and a friend. He planned the dowry heist that would have seen us wealthy beyond our dreams. But he's gone. I lost him in Magnifica Flora's family tomb. He is sorely missed. My sponsor? That would be Thrag. I find his dedication and training techniques to be excellent. I also enjoy watching the way the sweat glistens off his rock-hard muscles. It pleases me a great deal.
This nonsense must cease.
This message is to Chief Inspector Runbeek. It's about an arrest order. Velsa's arrest order. She isn't working with the Iron Wheel. She's their next target. Velsa was the last living person who could have placed the Iron Wheel on our trail. But it wasn't her. Of course it wasn't. Now I need to tell my least favorite person that she's in mortal danger.
I can't stand her, but she was always one of our best. I could really use her help in restoring the Thieves Guild. My eye just twitched. I need to control that around Velsa. Never show her your tell. I want to rush in, give the Iron Wheel a reason to fear us. But I'm in charge, and if I'm captured, the Thieves Guild is dead. Can't believe I'm saying this, but I need to fall back to the den while you warn Velsa. Show her the Iron Wheel's message. Tell her Nicholas is dead if you have to. Do what you can to bring her to the den. But if she refuses, leave her. I owe her a warning. Nothing more. Head to the upper levels and search for her villa. It's a bit of a maze, but look for a big garden. And watch for traps. Velsa is enthusiastic about her privacy. Obnoxious and dripping with poison, just like her personality. If she hadn't retired, Nicholas would still be alive. I shouldn't say that. She's very good at what she does. If she'd been around for the dowry heist, we'd have been spared all this tragedy. But now's not the time to open old wounds.
Spare a coin for the needy?
Not so fast. Guards! Try not to be superstitious. That brings back...
Damn these loose pockets.
I could have sworn I grabbed it before I left.
You know, I hate to drink alone.
Help an unfortunate soul?
Did you fall and land directly upon your skull? I am retired.
Well, sir, do not make me beg. It is unbecoming of our most profitable history.
And who is this, Silverclaw? Who else befouls my garden?
In all truthfulness, I have no knowledge. A friend? But you have no friends. Beyond my humble and mercantile self, of course. Are you some sort of freelance gardener? The first I have met. A most effective entrance. Can you not feel Velsa's glare upon you? Oh, it is upon me. Perhaps you should speak with her.
You've made it past my traps. You're lucky, stupid, or quite skilled. I haven't decided which. Well, my garden needs tending. Out with it, and be on your way. What Thieves Guild? The Iron Wheel killed or branded the lot of them. Did your illustrious guildmaster send you? Tell Nicholas if he shows his face here, I'd have a mind to slap it. With a switch, covered in nettles. Then he finally went through with his damned fool heist. So, Guildmaster Zira sends a warning, does she? Nicholas barely in the ground, and she seeks to uproot my retirement? The old cistern? Zira wouldn't warn me unless she wanted something. And I would like to see the quality of recruits she allows into her thieves' den. Very well. Help me repay a favor, and I'll play Zira's vastly inferior game. This is where you agree. Ah, you showed interest. I'll consider that your agreement. The skittish Khajiit pretending not to eavesdrop is Silverclaw. Ask him why he needs our help. Meet me behind his old warehouse, after you know what you're walking into.
The Thieves Guild restored to Abba's Landing? I am most grateful for your timely and unexpected assistance. You see, my bountiful warehouse was taken from me by some conniving and nefarious individual. That is the question I keep asking myself. One day I arrived to find unfamiliar guards. They chased me from my own warehouse like a common dragon frog. Someone must have bribed my overseers. It does not matter. I need you to recover what was lost. What? No! Did I fail to mention the ledger hidden in my old office? I may have lost my warehouse, but the ledger is worth twice that entire rickety building. If you help Velsa restore it to me, I shall be most grateful to the Thieves Guild. Then I shall look forward to our next most auspicious meeting.